heard a little bit down here, and I heard a good bit of what this group was saying. And, I think it's hard for us to address what people call us. We sometimes like to deflect that and say, well, this is who that person has been for me, and to look at it. And I understand that because I have the same trouble. So maybe ask people, what would you call me? Somebody who's real honest. We've probably got like 5 or 6 friends that we know will tell us the truth no matter what. And everybody else will tell us some sort of what we want to hear. Go to those 5 or 6 and say, what would you call me? What would you name me if you could rename me? What I want to do to close is look at some other passages that talk about encouraging, that are scripture that mention encouragement. I've got these on your study guide. The first is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 11. Therefore encourage one another and build one another up, just as you are doing. You may not see yourself as an encourager, you may, but each one of you has been an encouragement to me in some way. If you hadn't shown some ability, some gift towards encouragement, you wouldn't have been asked to be here today. So whether you know it or not, you've shown me those gifts, and some of you have lifted up that you see that gift in other people, that you've affirmed that today. Joshua 1:9 talks about that this is, to be an encourager is to be Christ-like, is to be God-like. Joshua 1:9 says, have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened, and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Hebrews 10:25, not neglecting to meet together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near. I'm going to read each one of them. I'm not going to say anything in between them, and I just want you to listen. And I'm going to ask you, before we close, to just talk with your group about maybe a phrase that jumps out, a word that jumps out, something that hits you. Therefore, encourage one another and build one another up, just as you are doing. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened, and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Not neglecting to meet together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near. So I want you to talk about what is the word or the phrase, what did you hear when you heard those scriptures?
To be courageous. Not neglecting together. We know how important church is. And to me, that's what it says. It's important as Christians to meet together, to be in church and to be involved.
Not just for ourselves, but for the encouragement of others that might need it there also.
Right. And that's what it's all about, is to take that out, and make a difference.
Because it says it, have I not commanded you this?
Sometimes
I know that we're in His will and we're doing that.
it's like that.
Well, the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. No matter what's going on in my life, your life, or your other life, you know you got the conqueror of all with you. You know, they wanted more, but the battle already. So you can smile and know that He's going to get you through whatever.
Be strong and
That's
courageous.
just what you Abby Pittman asked me last week in Sunday school, "Are you happy?" I'm up there doing that. I said, "Because, you know, Why not? The race has already been won. All I gotta do is fight. I don't know my next, you know what I'm saying? All I gotta do is finish. It's already won. I've already won it. I just ain't got there yet. You know what I'm saying? Because I take part of the ownership of what Jesus has already done for me. You know, that's why I say, yeah, he's winning. So why won't he be happy? You know, it's like,
But it's contagious as well.
that's what I said, why not? You know, 'cause everything's, he's there.
Out there by yourself, sometimes if we're in the storm,
I just have to relate it
even though
back
we
to
know
today.
these things, sometimes we're just dealing with the circumstances that we don't get, but we go and we get together with our encouragers and then they help us, they bring us through like you two have shared, we have.
Well, what about that answer you just gave her though? I mean, that's the biggest encouragement of.
Absolutely.
It's not about.
And
I mean,
when
what if
see
you
it,
hadn't have answered her in that
That
way?
way, yeah, it's
You
like-
know?
Who knows who aren't that many?
And I just, I don't know, that class, yeah, I've taught almost every class I went in, you know, back and forth, in and out. But that class there, they'll stimulate your mind with questions. And they wanted to learn the history of, the Bible,
Yeah,
the events
just
in the
go up there
Bible.
and say, I want to see
The
this.
Bible study, like Easter, the Passover, and what was going on.
They ask the real questions.
The real questions. So we're studying some in Esther now about some of the, the holidays that are coming up in the Jewish tradition, so they can understand what was going on at this time of year in Jesus' life. So not just, Jesus was born, died, crucified, but what was going on, what was Jesus going through at this time of year of his life? And that's just, and that, that class is so